Hello, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Harvard Business Review Must Reads. In these videos, we talk about articles which impact your professional life and corporate life. We talk about issues which enhance your productivity and lead you to a more focused life. In today's topic, we will be discussing an exceptional article, Leadership That Gets Results by Daniel Goleman. Daniel Goleman is a psychologist and an author, and he has mastered the concept of emotional intelligence, where he talks about the four variables: social self awareness, social management, social awareness, and social skills. Daniel Goleman also writes for the New York Times, and his book Emotional Intelligence has been translated to over 40 languages. For this video, we've invited over Dr. Athar Mansoor, CEO Tracks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, in a brief nutshell, can you talk about what Goleman talks about in the article?
Yes, so the title of the article is Leadership That Gets Results. So, first of all, I would uncover the concept of leadership. Usually, leaders are the people who are at the top level within organization, although leaders exist at different levels. But generally, we consider those people who are amongst the top echelons of the organization. And they are responsible for setting strategy, motivating people, and creating mission for the organizations. So this is the general definition of leaders. Also, leaders are known as those people who have the ability to put ideas into practice. So leaders are people who execute the ideas. They just don't envision about something, but they have the capacity and they build the capacity within the organization by allocating, reallocating, and mobilizing resources so that their ideas are put into practice. Now, there has been a lot of debate about how leaders become effective within organizations and what styles they should adopt to become effective. Because eventually, it is the responsibility of the leaders to get results and outcomes from the resources which they allocate within the organization. So, this article is a masterpiece in the sense that it, for the first time, tells the readers and tells us as people who are in the corporate world or business world that there is no one style of leadership which the leaders should master. Rather, they should have the flexibility to adopt different styles of leadership, which I'm going to tell to the viewers in a while. And they should have the ability to switch between different styles of leadership whenever a particular situation dictates or demands. So, this is the crux of the article. Daniel Goleman uncovers 6 styles of leadership, and he also tells us that how the atmosphere or the climate of the organization needs to be built or needs to be taken into account also when switching between different styles of leadership and when planning interventions for the benefit of the organization and for creating more impact and creating more value within the organization. So first of all, I would try to highlight the most important aspect of the article, which is first I would actually, in fact, try to tell the viewers and explain quickly, briefly, the 6 styles of leadership which Daniel Goleman has uncovered in the article. So the first style of leadership is known as coercive leadership.
Okay.
The second style of leadership which Goleman talks about is authoritative leadership. The third style which Daniel Goleman tells us is affiliative leadership.
Okay.
The fourth style is called democratic leadership. The fifth style is pace setting leadership. And the last style is coaching leadership. So these are the 6 styles which Daniel Goleman talks about. And I'm going to highlight the features of each one and where and when, in which circumstances these styles should be adopted for better performance of the employees and overall better value creation within the organization. This research article by Daniel Goleman is actually very helpful in the sense that in fact tells us how to get results from the people. So this is a path-breaking article in the sense that it tells us how to get results from the people. Secondly, it also tells us that we need to just I have told earlier also, it also tells us how to switch and where to switch between
Okay.
different leadership styles. And finally, it actually also uncovers, because you have also highlighted that Daniel Goleman is the person who has explained emotional intelligence in a very interesting manner, and
Yeah.
he has broken down the concept into different parts so that a person is able to understand and comprehend it in totality, the concept. So he also talks about that how different styles of leadership spring from different components of emotional intelligence. For example, emotional intelligence has one component as social awareness,
Yes.
which means that you should be able to, you should be, as a leader, as a person, you should be able to understand what is happening around you socially. And empathy is one part of social skills which through which you respond when you are aware of
Okay.
your social environment. So now, coming back to the six styles of leadership, and before going into the detail of the six leadership styles, I would try to uncover that how the climate or the atmosphere within the organization needs to be taken into account.
Okay.
So the climate of an organization, it is not an amorphous concept, but it is something which needs to be understood from the perspective of how the climate is designed by a leader. So, for example, if the climate of an organization needs to be flexible, a different style of leadership has to be adopted.
Okay.
Or similarly, if the environment is already flexible and you come as a leader, you need to adopt a different style of leadership.
Okay.
Right? Similarly, if you want to have an innovative climate within the organization, a different style of leadership has to be adopted. Or when you assume the reins and the atmosphere or the climate is innovative and you want to perpetuate that climate, you need to have a different style of leadership, and you cannot just bank on one style of leadership. You need to switch between different styles of
Styles.
leadership.
Okay.
So now I will start unpacking the
Six
six
styles.
types of leadership which Goldman talks about. So the first style of leadership is known as coercive
Coercive.
leadership. And coercive leadership means do what I say.
Okay.
So this is, as the word,
As the
it's
name
as the
suggests.
name suggests, that the leader is all powerful. This style of leadership is very effective in turnaround situations.
Okay.
For example, if an organization is suffering from very bad financial performance, or maybe the indicators through which stakeholders or shareholders are measuring the performance of the organizations are not very healthy, then I think this style of leadership can be effective. But at the same time, the leader has to be aware that it can create some negative implications. So, for example, it will hurt the flexibility environment of the organization. So, if you don't want if you don't want the climate to be flexible, you can adopt
Okay.
coercive leadership.
Okay.
And similarly, if you assume the charge and the indicators are not very good, but at the same time there is flexibility, then there is a paradox that should you be adopting this style of leadership or not. But again, boiling down to the concept that do what I say.
Okay.
Right? So this is the first type style of leadership which Goldman talks about in this article. The second style of leadership is the authoritative style, and in this style, it says, "Come with me." So this style of leadership actually explains. It has been unpacked by Goldman in the sense from the perspective of "come with me," in which the leader is powerful, top-down approach is there, but he lets the employees some kind of flexibility, or gives some kind of flexibility to achieve what he sets for them.
Okay.
Right? So this is authoritative, and this is actually something which needs to be understood, that authoritative leadership can be effective in certain circumstances, but at the same time, it is again a top-down kind of an approach, just like coercive leadership.
Okay.
The third style of leadership which Goldman talks about is affiliative leadership. And affiliative leadership means that the leader places people gives people first priority.
Okay.
So people come first,
Okay.
kind of an approach by the leader. So he affiliates with them. He allows he gives margin for poor performance also.
Okay.
But he doesn't talk too much about corrective actions.
Okay.
This is a negative side. So the leader doesn't actually, in fact, tell the team players how to correct, but he's kind of adopting an approach in which he affiliates with them
Okay.
to a great
A
extent.
popular approach.
Yes. So it is helpful in building morale, raising the morale of the
Okay.
employees, motivating them, but at the same time, it cannot, it offers less advice to employees to overcome their quandary,
Okay.
right? So this is something which needs to be understood from the perspective of uh, not letting the employees understand how to take corrective action.
Okay.
But the fourth style of leadership is the democratic style, which means that you give the workers voice in decision making. So participatory style
Okay.
of decision making. This definitely motivates the employees because they have their voice. They can talk about it to the leader. The leader also hears them, gives them ear, and it actually raises their involvement and participation. But it can lead to unending kind of meetings, and
Yeah.
decision making can linger on
Prolong.
because it's a democratic, it's not a political system, it's an organization. In political systems, things can prolong for a certain period of time, but in cutthroat business environment, you cannot prolong things for.
You have to
uh,
take decisions on the spot.
Sometimes you have to be very responsible. So endless meetings, endless discussions, deliberations can
Okay.
ensue, and the leader can become ineffective also.
Okay.
So this has to be understood from that. So, but if you want to raise the morale, if you want to raise the flexibility within the organization, if you are emotionally intelligent from the perspective of understanding that how to let people speak and give their voice, because that gives them sense of ownership also. From that perspective, it can be important. The next or the fifth style of leadership is the pace setting style. In the pace setting style, the leader usually has some skills with him or her. He or she is adept at some skills, and he or she, in fact, leads the employees through those skills, manifests those skills, shows those skills, and inspires the people. And then employees get inspiration, and then they get the energy, and then they get the drive to move with the leader. And the last is the coaching style. Coaching style is also very important from the perspective of giving guidance, mentoring the employees, and focusing on their personal development, focusing on their professional development, and letting them understand that how the leader is standing beside them in situations of difficulties, challenges, which need to be overcome with the help of the leader. So, in nutshell, these six styles of leadership, starting from coercive and ending at the coaching style, it's a spectrum. Coaching style is like extreme help, mentoring, assistance, enabling environment in which the leader coaches the subordinates and employees. And coercive is the do what I say style, which I uncovered. So, the overall, if I summarize the article, it's an interesting article in the sense that it has given new insights through research that the environment of the organization or the climate of the organization has to be taken into account. The leaders have to switch between different leadership styles. There is no one best style of leadership. If the situation demands that you become a pace setting leader, you need to adopt that pace setting style. If the situation demands that you become democratic, you can, for a time being, assume that democratic style of leadership. If the situation demands you become coercive, for example, or authoritarian or authoritative leadership has to be depicted, then you can become authoritarian leadership. Viewers, I would like to highlight here that leaders, as I have told earlier, are the people who have some vision, who who devise strategy, who set mission for the organization, and who have the ability to put ideas into practice. So leaders distinguish themselves from just pure management perspective, from a pure manager in the sense that they have that vision which can be translated into reality through actions. So that is very important, whether it's a political domain, whether it's a business domain, whether it is a social domain. And in this article, I think Daniel Goleman has very adeptly, very skillfully, through research, uncovered these 6 styles of leadership and given us the food for thought that there is no one best style of leadership. Leaders should be aware of all 6 styles, and they should have the ability to switch between different styles. The most popular styles or the most effective would be the last four, starting from the affiliative leadership, and then ending at the coaching leadership style. And the two first ones, which is the coercive and the authoritarian style, they have the ability to negatively impact the organization also. But that doesn't mean that those styles of leadership would always be wrong. There are situations in which those leadership styles can be effective.
That is indeed a lot of information overload. I will definitely be reading this book. Because just as a final thought, as Sir mentioned, leaders have to be very adaptive. There is no set style of leadership, it depends on the situation. As Daniel Goleman rightly says, that the job of the leader is to get results. The leader has to adapt and improvise and deliver results. Thank you, sir, for the detailed analysis. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Keep tuned to Tracks, and we'll soon come up with another video. Thank you. Subscribe to Tracks.